Joe Biden is poised to become the nation's next president after campaigning on an ambitious domestic agenda. Now, Joe Biden has stated that his goal is to improve the finances for all Americans and jumpstart an economy that has been battered by the virus pandemic. Tax hikes for the rich, broadened health care coverage, and student loan forgiveness were some of the proposals on candidate Biden's to-do list. Now, turning these visions into laws as the president will be tricky. We are still wondering who will have control over the U.S. Senate. As of this past Saturday, this is an unanswered question. Now, which party has control of the U.S. Senate will affect whether or not he'll be able to get some of these policy proposals passed more easily. Both parties have 48 seats now, and races in Georgia, North Carolina, and Alaska were still undeclared as of this past weekend. Alright guys, so in this video, we're going to discuss what Joe Biden's election could mean for all of us Americans in terms of tax policy, housing, healthcare, and higher education. So the first thing we're going to cover is taxes. So Biden says America's corporations and the wealthiest citizens need to pay their fair share of taxes. Now, with that being said, Joe et al., Biden is proposing to raise the income tax rate to 39.6% from 37% for people making over $400,000 a year. That sets the top rate back to where it was under the Obama administration. Biden also wants to set the corporate income tax rate at 28% from the current 21%. The rate at the end of the Obama administration was 35%. Biden also proposes to change tax rules surrounding capital gains and inheritance. People making more than $1 million will have their capital gains taxed at the ordinary income rate 39.6%, according to his plan. The 40% estate tax would also apply a lot sooner. The 2017 Tax Cut and Jobs Act increased the exemption level to estate below $11.4 million for individuals and $22.8 million for couples. The Trump administration law raised the exemption from $5 million, and Biden says he wants to bring it back down to historical norm. Biden also wants a larger child tax credit. Trump doubled the tax credit to $2,000 in his tax bill, and Biden is proposing a $4,000 credit. Now let's talk about a very important topic, healthcare. The Obama administration passed the Affordable Care Act, and Joe Biden says he wants to build on the program. So Biden wants to add a public option to the Affordable Care Act. People below a certain income who live in states and didn't expand Medicaid would be automatically enrolled in the public option with no premium, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation. Biden would also lower Medicare eligibility to age 60 from age 65. Biden also proposed to overhaul rules and expand eligibility on the tax credit meant to defray health insurance costs. Also on costs, Biden says he'll prevent people from getting blindsided by massive medical bills. So the president-elect is planning to build on the program, but the Supreme Court is hearing arguments on November 10th, where the Trump administration is arguing the Affordable Care Act should be struck down and thrown out because of the individual mandate with a $0 penalty. Now the reality is, guys, the Biden administration can't stop a challenge to the Affordable Care Act in the Supreme Court, but it could in theory now argue to uphold the law. So now I want to discuss Joe Biden's housing policies. So any new Biden housing plan would come after a potential eviction crisis. Approximately 1.3 million renter households will be behind on rent by December, according to the Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia. That's about 2.8 million adults and 1.1 million children. These tenants will owe $7.2 billion in rent, which averages $5,400. Now, Biden has already stated that he would strengthen tenant protections and enact a homeowner and renter bill of rights. Biden wants to make the financial commitment less daunting for first-time home buyers with a refundable $15,000 tax credit. Now, I am definitely in favor of this tax credit, guys. I think it is a great idea. When the housing market crashed back in 2008-2009, President Obama signed into law a tax credit for first-time homeowners. It was through this tax credit that I myself was able to purchase my first condo through the FHA program, which allowed me to put a 3.5% down payment. I was able to get a $7,000 tax credit, and it helped me out tremendously. Now, just so you guys know, a tax credit is a dollar-for-dollar reimbursement, which differs from a tax write-off, also known as a tax deduction, which simply reduces your tax liability. So a tax credit is literally money in your pocket. I know for myself, Joe, this tax credit really helped to open up the doors of home ownership. So I really think it would be a great program for many people to get their foot in the door. Now, Biden also wants to add more affordable housing benefits for people working in the public sector, such as teachers and first responders. Biden is also proposing a tax credit for renters. This credit would reduce housing costs to a maximum of 30% of household income for people who do not qualify for Section 8 vouchers, offsetting rental costs. All right, another very important topic includes higher education, student loans, and college affordability. So even before the pandemic, Americans' $1.6 trillion in student loan debt as a financial crisis that has chipped away at a borrower's capacity to buy homes, start families, or pursue the careers of their choice. I mean, my generation, which is the millennial generation, we have gotten crushed by student loan debt. It has severely handicapped a lot of us. With that being said, Joe, Biden is proposing to cancel $10,000 of a borrower's student loan. The debt forgiveness would erase loan balances for 30% of borrowers, according to one analysis. Biden also wants to overhaul a debt forgiveness program that critics say has helped too few public sector workers. Now, there's actually some attorneys out there that have argued that the president's education secretary has specific and unrestricted authority to modify or cancel federal student loan debt. Biden also says families making less than $125,000 per year should not have to pay for the child's college education at a public college. This would apply to approximately 80% of families in the United States. Any plans for free public college would require new laws to be passed by Congress and the president. And to be honest, that would be much more complicated to pass. I do think that Joe Biden's plans for higher education and student loan debt is a very big step in the right direction and helping to make college more affordable. Millennials have really gotten sat back because of the expensive nature of higher education. College expenses are going up faster than living wages. We are seeing millennials have record levels of student loan debt and unable to get good paying jobs to help repay that debt. So there you have it, Joe, what a Joe Biden presidency means for most Americans in terms of taxes, healthcare, housing, student debt, and higher education. If you found value in this video, please be sure to tap that like button and share it with others on social media. It goes a very long way in helping to support and grow the channel. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell as I'm posting valuable new content every week. Thanks again for watching, and until next time.